everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be a quick, easy spring daytime look. Nothing too crazy, maybe definitely a wearable springtime look. So I already washed and moisturized my face. To start, I'm just going to go in with my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Primer. I find this primer comparable to the POREfessional by Benefit. It's just a really nice pore filling primer. And I don't have large pores or anything, but my pores are a bit more noticeable in my T-zone area here, especially right on my nose and just the inner parts of my cheeks here. So I'm going to take a bit of this primer and just kind of focus it in the center of my face. And in this primer, you're going to want to push it into your skin as much as you can. And a bit on my chin, and just slowly blend out whatever's left over on your fingers. And today, since we're just going for a super luminous, dewy spring makeup look, I'm going to take my NARS All Day Luminous Foundation, and this is in the shade Gobi. This is such a nice foundation. Definitely medium to full coverage. This is a pretty buildable foundation as well. So if you do want more of a fuller coverage or have some spots you want to cover, you can definitely build it up. I'm just going to take a bit on my finger here and just dot it all over my face. I'm going to take my brand new Beauty Blender that I just got a bit dirty with my dirty fingers. I'm just going to take it and just start pushing all the product into my face.
Are you doing makeup?
I am.
On the computer.
Yes, I'm doing my makeup on the computer. I really enjoyed the finish of this foundation. It's very luminous and dewy. My skin's super dry, so I prefer these more dewy foundations personally. You're going to want to take your foundation down your neck because you want to match. Whatever's excess on your Beauty Blender, you can just kind of put on your earlobes, whatever you want to do. There we go. I'm ready to roll again. So now that my foundation is blended and I'm content with the finish, I'm going to take my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. And this is in the shade Light 1, I believe, Chantilly, the lightest shade they have. I'm taking it. And I'm just going to take my concealer. What I do is I just take a swipe down this way, a swipe this way. I'm a big fan of this concealer because it's super blendable, super full coverage, and the finish is just really nice. This shade specifically for myself, it really brightens up my under eye. I'm just going to take it a bit between my eyebrows here, but I'm really not going to focus it too much on my forehead because myself, I have a larger forehead, so I really don't want to emphasize that. So I'm just going to take my same damp Beauty Blender that I used for my foundation, and again, just start blending out this concealer. And again, you're going to want to definitely just use light patting motions. You don't want to swipe all your concealer off because for obvious reasons, but if you swipe, not only is it bad for your under eye wrinkles because the skin under your eye is so thin and sensitive and fragile. If you're sitting here swiping and reefing on it, it's just not good. So definitely patting motions. Also, so you don't swipe off all all the work you've done so far, like I said. I'm going to take the concealer right into this area by my nostrils, because it tends to get really red in that area on me. For my chin and my forehead area, I like just taking the butt end of my Beauty Blender and just blending it out, just because it's a larger area and gets more done all at once. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And then whatever, oh sorry, I guess I should tell you what I'm doing. And then whatever excess concealer I have on my Beauty Blender, I just kind of put on my eyelids. Just to cover any redness, and on myself they're kind of veiny, so I just take this concealer and I use it just to cover that up. Also, it can be used as a shadow primer later on. My baby just fell asleep in her high chair. One moment, again. Dang it. I also take this powder, just like the, I also take this powder as well as my concealer a bit up the sides of my nose here, and this will just help if you want to contour your nose. This will kind of diffuse the shadow that your nose gives to make it look more wide. This will help it look more narrow by diffusing those shadows. Just a trick. And I'm also going to take my powder and just set the nostril area where it gets red throughout the day. And now I'm just going to take my damp Beauty Blender and just take some Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and just cover all the spots that I concealed. And I'm going to let this bake for a bit while I do my eyebrows. And for my brows today, I'm going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Beauty Express little kit here. And this is just in the shade, I just got the brunette one. So it's kind of perfect because I use the dark brown shade right on the tail end of my brow, where you can see here my hairs are very sparse. And then I use the taupe shade right in the start of my brow, just so it's really not harsh. Then I just take the spoolie again on this end and just kind of blend in the bottom base line that I had for my brow. I need to start getting a better camera rather than just using... Wow, I really need a camera. I'm sorry guys, I'm just using the webcam I have on my laptop, and clearly it's not very good. Before I post another video, I think I'm gonna get a camera, because I feel bad you guys even wasting your time watching this. To clean up my tail end of the brow, and just to make it a little bit more sharp, I just have some concealer left on the back of my hand, I'm just going to take that and just kind of clean them up with a little flat concealer brush. I'm just going to take this concealer and, like I said, just carve out the bottom of my brow just to sharpen up the tail end. And if you made any mistakes, this is where you can go in and just kind of clean them up. Again, a super light hand, and you really don't need too much. You don't need to go too hard with the concealer. Unless you want to, do your thing. You do you, boo. And see how before it was kind of bulky at the end, just kind of like stumpy almost? This just really sharpens it, which is the look I like, personally. You can also take the concealer and clean up the top of your brows if you want, but I kind of like the top brow looking more natural, and just the bottom, I like the bottom of my brow. I like the top of my brow to look more natural-ish, and the bottom to look more clean and sharp. And then I'm just going to take this same brush and just blend that concealer down. I'm going to take my Benefit Gimme Brow. This is just a brow volumizing fiber-based gel, and this is in the shade Light Medium. I'm just going to use this to set my brows. So I have some longer ones here because I'm currently in the process of growing them out, and I need to get them threaded. So I have a bunch of flyaways and longer hairs right in this area. So I'm just going to take this brow gel and just tame them. I have to be careful with this brow because I really don't have much hair on it, so I don't want to like put a bunch of this colored gel right onto my skin, which is very easy to do if you're not super careful. Like I just did there a little bit. So in the front part, I kind of brush them up and then over. And then after about a third of the way in, that's when I start combing them down. And I'm going to do the exact same on this side, kind of brush these few baby front hairs I have up, and then tame these ones down. So since my skin is more on the dry side, I think my powder has been baking long enough. I really don't want this area to be too dry, because this look I'm going for more of a luminous, glowy look, like I said. So I'm going to take my Sephora powder brush. It's just this big face powder brush here, and just kind of wipe away all the powder. I've heard that the RCMA powder are for drier skin. I have yet to try it. If you have dry skin and use the RCMA powder, can you let me know in the comments below? It's going to give my eyelashes a little curl. I'm going to take my eyelash curler. So while my mascara dries, I'm just going to go in and contour my face. And today to contour, I'm going to use Sephora Pro Contour Brush, the number 77, just to kind of carve it out and go from there. And again, I'm going to use my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and I'm just going to take this middle shade because it's a lot more on the cool side, which I like. I like more of a cool toned contour. So my cheekbones are a bit high, even though you can't see because I'm chunky. So to place your contour, what you're going to want to do is just kind of do the kissy face, and you'll be able to feel your cheekbone. And you just follow that. And just as I'm placing it, I'm going to blend it up. Just going to kind of stipple it on here. And don't worry if you took it a bit too far down. I can show you how to clean that up in a minute, because I'm going to need to. And now that there's nothing really on my brush, I'm just going to blend out the edges of the contour. Just by pushing it and blending the edges. And then before I start cleaning up my contour, I'm just going to take this EcoTools Super Dense brush here, just to really buff out the contour. I'm going to contour the rest of my face now. I'm going to kind of just mix all three of these dark contour shades together, just to get a nice little balanced contour shade, and I'm going to contour the rest of my face. For me, I have a large forehead, so I really contour the ish out of it. Right up to the hairline, and buff it out as you go. So what you do is you just contour and highlight to your face shape. If you have a smaller face, a smaller forehead, you're going to want to highlight it. If it's larger like mine, you want to contour just to kind of tone it down a bit. I really wish this contour kit had a mirror. Side note. And then kind of just, when there's not much product left on the brush, I just kind of take it all the way to where I highlighted, just so it has a nice gradient blend, and it's not like a stripe of brown and a stripe of highlight. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just going to contour this double chin a little bit with powder. Contour the jawline. Make sure you blend that out because that's super noticeable if you have a big brown strike right where your face meets your neck. It's not cute. Unless that's your thing, then hey, you do you, boo. Then hey, you do you. I'm going to kind of just define my crease a little bit, something kind of springy. I'm not going to do anything too crazy with the eyes. I'm going to kind of just go for a natural, but I'm just definitely going to give the crease some definition. So, with that being said, I'm going to take my Luxie 205 tapered blending brush here. This is just a really nice, soft blending brush. And I'm going to take my Eyes Are the Window shadow palette. Oh, sorry, I'm blinding you guys. And this is the Mind one by Stila Cosmetics. And I'm going to take, hang on, let me see what I'm working with here. And I'm going to take this light peachy shade here. This is the shade Creativity. And this is just the closest shade to my skin tone. Tap off any excess. And I'm going to hold the brush by the end with super light pressure. And just start adding some definition to my crease. I'm going to build it up. This color, you don't even notice it's there because, oh, except for you do because there's some dark brown color on this brush. Okay, that's okay. I can work with this. Just gonna blend it out in circular motions here. Now I'm going to take this one shade darker here. This is in the shade Intellect. And this is just more of like a, you can't really see, it's you can see this shade here, it's just like a nice mauvey gray taupey shade. Almost. Now I'm going to take this bottom shade, which is just a shade darker than the one we just did. It's just a nice mauvey shade, and this is in the shade Intellect. I'm going to take some on my brush, and again do the exact same as what I did with the lighter shade. Use windshield wiper motions again, and then circular motions to buff out these edges, so you don't be looking a little crazy over here. I'm focusing this right on my crease and a bit lower because I really don't want it to go too high up with this look. Now I'm going to take my clean Morphe M330 brush. There's just nothing on this. It's just a large tapered blending. This is just a large tapered blending brush again. It's clean, nothing on it, and just blend out these edges here. Oh, hello. It's clean, nothing on it, and just blend out these edges here. Oh, hello. So now I'm just going to show you how I clean up my contour if you get a bit crazy with it. which I did a little bit right here, just went down a bit too far, well, farther than what I anticipated. So I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder again and my damp beauty blender and just clean up that edge, and then here where I took it a bit too far down. And this is going to give you a super sharp contour. If that's what you want. If you don't want it, then just skip this step. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. My lips are a bit dry today, so, which I did a little bit right here, just went down a bit too far, well, farther than what I anticipated. So I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder again and my damp beauty blender and just clean up that edge, and then here where I took it a bit too far down. And this is going to give you a super sharp contour. If that's what you want. If you don't want it, then just skip this step. So I'm going to let that sit for a minute. My lips are a bit dry today, so I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. And I'm going to start on my lips. So my lips are a bit dry today. So to start, I'm going to take my Sugar Fresh Lip Treatment here. Advanced treatment. So my lips are a bit on the dry side today. I didn't drink enough water today, I think. So with that being said, I'm going to take my Fresh Sugar Advanced Therapy Lip Treatment. And this is just like a really heavy duty chapstick. It has a really nice fresh smell. And you can just instantly feel the moisture being absorbed into your lips. It's so nice. Very hydrating. And today to highlight, I'm going to take my Becca Champagne Pop highlighter. And I'm going to take my Makeup Forever 134 fan brush to apply my highlight today. Just going to kind of dip it on the sides of the highlighter. Tap off any excess. And just kind of do like a... And with this brush, I kind of just do a zigzag pattern, and it kind of places the product and blends it at the same time, so you don't have like a big zebra stripe going on. And I also use the sides of the brush. I don't go right like this, you know what I'm saying? I kind of go on the side here, and that just gives it a nice blend. And since I'm going for more of a glowy look, I'm going to take it just above my brows here. Just right on the arch, and this will kind of just make them look lifted. I'm going to take a bit right on the tip of my nose for a little cute nose highlight. Hello. Hello. A bit on my Cupid's bow. Well, this brush is like bigger than my face. And with a different brush, I'm going to take my Morphe M505 and just a bit of this highlight. And just kind of put it right on my brow bone here. Now I'm going to wipe off this excess powder from where I was cleaning up my contour. And can you see it just kind of really gave it a sharp, nice cleanup. I think I'm just going to put some mascara on my lower lashes, I just decided. For blush today, I'm going to take my Too Faced Sweet Flush Blush in the shade Candy Glow. And this is just a really nice blush. You can see it has kind of 3 shades in here. All very shimmery. Definitely not a matte blush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Sephora powder brush and kind of mix a bit of each shade in. I really like this middle corally blush. It's just such a nice coral shade. Just kind of focus it on the apples of my cheek here, and then blend it back. Just do this super cute face. Whoa. So for the lips, I don't know if I really decided what I really want yet. Okay, I'm gonna take this super corally bright neon shade. This is the, I don't know, I think I'm just gonna wing it. I'm gonna take my Urban Decay lip pencil, and this is in the shade Streak. And this is just a super bright coral lip liner. Like super neon, like it's crazy. I'm just gonna line my lips. And then to fill in my lips, I'm going to take the Kat Von D Everlasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Berlin and just fill them in. I really love the formula for these Kat Von D lipsticks. They just go on so smooth. They're not too drying. They're just a really nice liquid lipstick, and the color range is just phenomenal. So